All right, first things first, you guys all know about the Chris Tyson situation. Been an insane day. As you guys know, Chris Tyson has been exposed, genuinely exposed. Old stuff that is incredibly disgusting that has been discovered about Chris Tyson has hit the mainstream. The engagement with art that simply depicts real children, stuff like that, the Ludwig stuff, the Shadman stuff, it's all so gross and so foul. Like that burp, foul. And we also have this information regarding Chris Tyson having made sexual remarks around a minor. The Chris Tyson situation starts with the Shadman stuff, mostly because of this video. I don't need you guys to watch all this. I think you get the idea. This guy drew Keemstar's genuinely repulsive, disgusting behavior. And when this all came out, I was a little bit alarmed by how few people were discussing it, right? This had been out for this video 7 days ago, right? So it's been 7 days. This video is blowing up. You can't really ignore it. Everyone on the internet knows what's going on. And people who usually talk about allegations and things of this sort, very serious situations, have been noticeably silent on this. Like Ludwig on his Mogul Mail channel, Moist Critical had made a video on it. He did address it on stream last night, and he does plan on making a video on it, which we'll get into. But the way that people have been ignoring this has been, to me, a big sign of maybe a few things. That one, people, big influencers specifically, don't want to blackball themselves from MrBeast. They don't want to burn the MrBeast bridge. They understand that by attacking someone who's been so largely associated with the MrBeast brand that perhaps they would be doing themselves a disservice, that it would be inconvenient for their business relationship with MrBeast as an influencer, or what could be a business relationship, by doing that. By attacking Chris Tyson, you're attacking an extension of the MrBeast brand. Or the optics of being critical of a trans person at all, even if that trans person is literally a fucking predator, is, again, like the MrBeast bridge, can be inconvenient to your brand. And so I don't think it's something where you should value those two things more than literally calling out predatory behavior. You can't just call out predators when it's convenient. You can't just call out Dr. Disrespect because he's a streamer that you have no affiliation with at all. He's up for grabs, or Cody Co because he's up for grabs. But when it's MrBeast's friend who's trans, it's not up for grabs, or at least you're not going to go as hard on it. I think that's disgusting. I'm going to call you out on that. I'm going to not give you any charity at all whatsoever. I don't want to be too specific, but I did have a word with Moist Critical, and he agrees that it's really bad, and he will be making a video on it, which is good. That's very good information for me. But when I did the same thing, when I approached Ludwig with the same proposal, he had a different reaction. I said, hey, at Ludwig, are you planning on covering the definitive predatory behavior that Chris Tyson has engaged in? You've made videos talking about Dr. Disrespect immediately after the information came out. And you can see here, he made a video 1 year ago talking about how Chris's transition was being poorly received by some people because of the Sunny V2 video. Gets 1.5 million views. Very good. Good job. Hey, Ludwig. Great stuff, bro. Really good shit here. So glad you came to this person's defense. But then, 3 weeks ago, Dr. Disrespect gets outed for being a creep messaging minors, and we have 2 videos, 13 minutes each, talking about Dr. Disrespect. The truth comes out. Point is, right, this is 26 minutes of content on a streamer who did something inappropriate with a minor. And you have a lot of those same, there's a remarkable amount of overlap with what happened with Chris Tyson, and yet there's a different response from Ludwig. Ludwig had this to say to me. My video literally came out 2 days after Charlie's, not quote, immediately after information came out. Well, 2 days after, to me, that's still, somewhat. You're kind of in a hurry to get the info out. And then he goes, I waited for Doc's statement on Twitter and on stream and his removal from Midnight Society. I'm literally in Paris with my family. Why y'all motherfuckers so horny for a statement? Ludwig, I think it's your job to report on situations like this, as you've proven. It's literally what you do. You did the Dr. Disrespect thing. I'm horny for a statement because I want some consistency with you. I don't think that you're gonna try to make it sound weird, like, oh, I'm just doing my own thing in Paris, and you guys want me to do my fucking job? Why are you guys so horny for a statement? Ludwig, this is what you do. You're a mogul male. You do news stories regarding influencers, situations. You've covered Aiden Ross scams. You've covered all these sorts of topics that revolve around, whatever flavor of the day, daily internet drama specials. And so obviously people are going to be horny for a statement when you've done that for like every single topic. He ratios me, so W for him. And I wrote, you're awfully quick to post 2 videos on the topic, just making sure creators keep the same energy across the board on predatory behavior. I don't know if that's being, quote, horny for a statement. I know you and MrBeast are buddy-buddy, so perhaps it would be inconvenient to post something that could negatively impact his brand. Appreciate the response. So if you guys don't know what I'm referring to here, MrBeast and Ludwig do have a buddy-buddy relationship, like I mentioned. I've brought this up in some videos where I've been critical of Ludwig before, but you have to see where, like, his biggest video, I believe, is one that MrBeast literally gave him. Like, it was a scrapped MrBeast video. I buried $100,000. Go find it. And it's literally a scrapped MrBeast video. Has 16 million views, and this has more than double the views of his second biggest video. It's more views than his 2 other biggest videos combined, right? It's MrBeast. Now, that being said, if I'm going to be as charitable as I can, I don't think that just because, you know, MrBeast gave him a video, that because of that, Ludwig wouldn't call out predatory behavior done by Chris Tyson. However, he's arguing with me on Twitter about it rather than getting on this case. And he talks about he's in Paris, you know, I'm in Paris right now. Like he's fucking Kanye West or something. But I've literally seen this guy make videos traveling, like, all the time. And I'll prove it to you. This whole, like, I'm on vacation thing is like what? Like, buddy, I've seen you post content while you're on the road before, and so, like, it's just like, why even bring that up if we can prove that it's not something that would stop you from covering this, you know? Let me find a video, for example. I believe it was a few months ago. Okay, here we go.
Off rip, I have to apologize for the setup, but it's the best I can do because I'm on vacation in France celebrating.
So he's in France. So he's probably in Paris. This was 7 months ago. This isn't like an excuse if we can go back here and literally prove that you've made videos. He could do the same thing. Hey guys, apologize for the setup. I'm in France, but here's the Chris Tyson situation. He did the same thing for Pokemon. Let's keep the same energy. Where's the energy? Where is it? I'm noticing a lack of it from a lot of people. Hey, we got 1,800 people in here. If you guys are new around here, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the stream and send a donation if you want to help me out. So, yeah, let me read chat a little bit. What are you guys saying here? Predators in Paris, selective work ethic, lazy Ludwig. Well, here's the pedos in Paris. Well, here's the thing: is it's like you just can't utilize that excuse, because we can all agree the Pokemon cookies thing is way less of a situation than Chris Tyson's predatory behavior. So you'd think the exception for him would be like, huh, yeah, I am in Paris, and this is supposed to be my vacation. But I do understand how it looks that I've taken time out of my vacation before to cover a situation. So let me not do that again for a situation that's much more serious. Make it make sense. I don't understand that. Can you elaborate on what the decision making here? Like, what is the brain apparatus? Like, what sort of system is taking place here where you're gonna cover the fucking room temperature Pokemon cookies YouTube drama, but not the explosive MrBeast co-host predatory drama? Please explain this to me. Now, obviously, he didn't say that he won't cover it, but, like, you know, bringing up that he's busy or something is such a, why? Like, that just makes you look worse in a lot of ways. I'm busy. But you were busy here, no? You're talking about fucking Pokemon. You're too busy now? What came up? I don't know. So that was that, right? And then, so he made his reply. And so, moving on. I made this tweet after he made his, and I wrote, people are asking me why I care so much about the Chris Tyson situation. This person has had one of the largest astroturfed careers in all of YouTube history, appearing in videos with hundreds of millions of views. They have been invited to the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, etc. Not only do I find their actions to be outright disgusting, but I also find it disgusting that creators are disincentivized to speak out about predatory behavior that they would otherwise condemn because it would potentially burn the MrBeast bridge. And this is something you have to consider. MrBeast, he has these videos where he'll get hundreds of YouTubers in his videos to participate in challenges and stuff like that. And you have to wonder, when some of these YouTubers are people like Ludwig or Moist Critical, where's the same energy that these people give to the, other predators that they've called out before? I just think it's worth noting. Or people who are potentially looking to be the next MrBeast, who could use the shout out from him, up and coming YouTubers. And so, you know, make it make sense. Let's continue on here. I also think it's bad that creators are choosing to neglect this because they don't want... I also think that creators are choosing to neglect this because they don't want the bad optics of calling out one of the largest trans influencers. So one thing I've definitely noticed is that a lot of the right-wing side of YouTube that is, you know, one foot in the internet drama space, or even mainstream right-wing influencers like Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, whoever, they oftentimes will accuse trans people of being groomers and stuff like that. And so I feel like the thing that people are so afraid of, these YouTubers, is they don't want to seem like the Matt Walsh or like the Ben Shapiro. They would rather not say anything or be silent or something like that than share anything in common with those people. Even when the thing in common is like, yeah, predatory behavior is bad. Like, especially when it's objectively proven predatory behavior like Chris Tyson. I cannot get behind you. I'm not a right-wing guy. I'm not gonna go after trans people. Really? When the trans people are literally caught on record sending inappropriate messages to minors and engaging with drawn CP? Really? Okay. Gotcha. So if Chris didn't transition, you'd be all over this, is what you're saying? I mean, seriously, make this make fucking sense to me. It makes no sense. And these people are so morally inconsistent. It's disgusting. I will get to every super chat at the end of this. We're going to continue on. So Ludwig then drops a response to me here, writing, "Why did you not reply to my question to you? Is it because you thought it would negatively impact your brand?" Now, I had no idea what he was talking about, so you go back here. And he wrote he wrote a reply to me down here. I did not see this at the time, but he said, "I wasn't quick. I was days later than most people, which I just proved. I waited for enough information from both sides to make an informed video. Do you think that's a bad thing to do?" No, Ludwig, I don't think waiting for more information is a bad thing to do. However, Chris Tyson has been proven. This is all proven information. If Chris Tyson says nothing, is that your excuse to not cover it because they never made a response? Do you need this person to acknowledge the fact that these are real in order for you to make a video on this, when we know that this evidence that's been collected has been existing on the internet for a while and is definitely real and it's been archived? Do you need this person to literally wave a white flag for you to have permission to shit on them? What is this? I just want to wait. I want to wait. I get it. I get if you want to wait for something, but waiting for like an admission of guilt when the stuff that's out there is enough to indict them is sort of strange. I feel like the admission of guilt is going to be because of videos made on them. You understand that, right? It's not going to it's counterproductive. Like, they're waiting for an admission of guilt to make the video when the video would be the thing to yield the admission of guilt. I'm just trying to understand that. So I don't really comprehend that logic, like, whatsoever. I think that's kind of cancer. And the information is still there. Like, it is enough, like, to make a video. I made my video on it. People have made their videos on it. The videos have been positively received and are definitely enough to indict Chris Tyson 1,000%. I would not say anything otherwise, okay? So anyway, I didn't see that Ludwig tweet. And in the meantime, before I saw that tweet, I wrote this other thing. I wrote, Ludwigger's taking things really well because ever since I had asked him, like, hey, are you going to make a video on this? People were flooding my DMs because he ratioed me, writing things like kill yourself, you fucking, and... Can't say that for YouTube, I think. I mean, I'm on stream, I probably could say it. But, you know, he's waiting for evidence that vindicates Chris. Exactly. Like, just clutching onto the one in a billionth chance that, like, fucking the ghost of P. Diddy possessed Chris Tyson's body into liking child porn. Okay. Okay. Like, what? Dude, I don't know if you need to have, like, a photo from a drone of Chris Tyson entering a Diddy party or getting off the jet that just landed on Epstein Island, but I think from what I've seen, it's enough to close the case on this. We don't need to literally see Chris Tyson entering a child for this to be enough. Like, this is insane. So then this person who came after me right after the Ludwig stuff, I wrote this. Chris X Diddy, Critty, Dr. Chris Respect. I love Dr. I don't love him. I love the name. Dr. Chris Respect. It's great. Dr. Chris Respect, the gender-affirming trans doctor. Now, Ludwig, this is awesome, dude. This is so great. So Ludwig then goes, there is literally zero evidence that this is one of my viewers. Obviously, that guy is a fucking loser. There's zero evidence. I mean, I don't care that one of Ludwig's fans comes after me, right? Like, it's not his fault. I just think it's funny. Ludwiger's taking things well. You know, it's funny. But then he goes, there's zero evidence that this is one of my viewers. Let's keep it a stack, bro. Who do you think that is? You think that guy, what did Kamala Harris say? Just fell out of a coconut tree? Obviously, this person's been around the block. He watches your content. He's a mogul mover, or whatever the hell you call each other, or what I called him. And so he goes, obviously that guy's a fucking loser. And if you really wanted to know how my viewers felt about the situation, you don't have to go too far. And then he gets a DM that I sent him in 2021, January 2021. Where I wrote, you're probably my favorite streamer at the moment. Now, this is his dunk on me. That 3 years ago, I liked his content. Are you serious? Are you serious? That 3 years ago, I liked your content? Then I watched you transform into a total loser who is absolutely partisan, has no integrity, and just makes, like, shit content? Like, that's on me? That's an indictment of me? Dude, you fell off. Like, yeah, I'm sure you're getting views and you're goated and, you know, you're ingesting MrBeast's population pudding. That's fantastic. But, you know, this is supposed to make me look bad. Like, oh, you know, you're the real fan here. Like, I'm clearly not. Like, I'm clearly shitting on you. But now you're just somebody that I used to know, somebody. And MrBeast, somebody that you constantly blow. That's what you're doing. You're blowing that. So that's what's going on. And honestly, like, you know, I used to like this guy's content back in, what was this, January 11th, 2021. So I think I would have been a senior in high school. Dude, I had nothing to do. So you didn't have to cut me off. That's what Chris said to the doctor. Okay, sorry. That's not okay. The Chris meat be like, but you didn't have to cut me off. That's not okay. That's okay. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, but I was in high school, and I had nothing else to do, so I was obviously tuning into some Ludwig stuff. And I liked his content, and now he's using that against me. It's like, okay, all right, dude. So, anyway, this is what I wrote. Yeah, get a DM of me glazing you prior to your atrocious fall off. You're so busy surgically attaching your tongue to the bottom of Hasan's boot. I'm surprised you even had time to respond. Maybe if he had asked you to make a video on Tyson, you would. Also, what was your question? I didn't see it, so I didn't see his question here. But this is true. I mean, his tongue is literally glued with Gorilla Glue to the bottom of Hasan's boot, right? Like, when Hasan asked him to take down that video of him saying streaming is harder than a 9 to 5, he literally fucking, like, he did. He was like, yes, sir. Oh, daddy, is this okay? Daddy, is this okay if I take down this video? Daddy, Hasan? This guy's he's such a fucking kiss up. It's unbelievable. Hasan says jump. Ludwig goes, how high? Mind viewer. Literally, he's like a Nazi. Dude, Ludwig is the Nazi to Hasan's Hitler. It's disgusting. Bro fell off and he gets 1 million views per video. Obviously, I don't mean view-wise. I don't mean in terms of his views. I mean, he just fucking, like, he's no longer cool. Like, he's just cringe now. The fact that he, you know, he has to pull this, like, old DM of me liking his content as, like, an own on me. If anything, that should show. I feel like that kind of shows that I'm unbiased. I used to like him. I watched the path he walked down, and I don't like him anymore. I said, of course, I would always say wait for adequate information before discussing a story. However, the lack of a response from Tyson does not mean the information regarding their behavior isn't public. And conveniently, this is when Ludwig stopped engaging with me. He's still active on Twitter, he just stopped. He probably didn't want to give me any more attention. Maybe Beast gave him a call, or Hasan probably more likely gave him a call and said, hey, Ludwig, get back on your leash, boy. I'm gonna walk you around. So that's probably what happened. He said, stop engaging with these fucking weirdos. And then he did. Anyway, after this all happened, we continue on. I have this clip here. Here we have people in Hasanabi chat asked him to talk about the Ava Chris Tyson situation, but he refused to speak on it. Hasan, what the hell? And we have my video here on the left. So let's hear what this guy has to say. You know, keep in mind this guy has made a video on the Cody Co situation without Cody Co responding, so the whole I'm waiting for a response thing doesn't work. And this guy has over and over again covered breaking news. So, you know, to act like it's above him to not address this stuff is ridiculous. So we have to take a look at this clip.
Has Hasan talked about MrBeast Chris? Think about this.
Yeah.
This is no different than the Cody Co shit where people were just like, hey, I know that the current sitting president dropped out of the re-election campaign in the most historic thing that has happened in this election cycle, in a sea of historic things that have happened so far.
So, you know, you can tell where he's going with this. He diverts the attention from this to politics, which is such a lame excuse because the amount of times this guy's covered YouTube drama and stuff like that is insane. You're basically, you're a streamer. You cover live news updates with actual politics stuff, but you've also covered live news updates in terms of YouTube creator drama. I've seen him do this with the Cody Co stuff, and I'm sure there's examples of him doing it before. So to act like this is like above what he's allowed to talk about or irrelevant or something is rich. It's such a scapegoat.
Has Hasan talked about MrBeast Chris?
Very valid question.
Oh no, don't ban me. Just a question. I'm not going to ban you. I do want you to really think about it though.
And he's literally mad that people are asking him to talk about the biggest YouTuber's sidekick, the Robin to MrBeast's Batman. And you're mad about people asking that of you? That's a very valid question, a reasonable ask. You are a huge streamer. You give your thoughts and takes on things constantly, you know, so much so that you think you understand the entire nuanced political world out there. And you're mad at someone. You think I'll talk about this? The sitting president just resigned. Okay, yeah, Joe Biden dropped out. Fuck, like, okay, next.
As a political commentator, this
is what you have to understand. He's a political commentator when he's convenient, but he's also not when it's convenient. You know, he'll talk about politics when it's convenient. He'll talk about whatever else. You know what I mean? Because you want to put yourself in this box that, oh, I can only talk about politics, but when politics gets dry, as it does sometimes, there's shittier news cycles, which are not as advantageous for him to make content out of. He'll obviously fall back on something different, like gaming, like Valorant, for example. This guy games all the time with like Valkyrie and stuff, or a fucking Among Us. You guys remember when this guy was running Among Us every 5 seconds? So you're not just a political commentator, okay? You talk about a lot of other things. And, you know, this idea that you're just this poor little political fugitive and this is all you can talk about and you're not allowed to talk about YouTube drama is retarded, okay? Hope we're clear on that.
Commentator, do you think personally that right now I'm going to be talking about YouTubers? If it was someone you hate, you'd be talking about them? There are plenty of people I hate. And I don't talk about them in times like this because unfortunately for you fucking weirdo drama perverts, okay?
Weirdo drama perverts, not the actual perverts like Chris Tyson, the drama perverts. Oh! Wait. Oh! Yeah, not the actual perverts, the people who want drama. Or more so, you just to address and disavow this and bring light to this in front of your audience.
Unfortunately for you, there are 50,000 other adults here that actually are coming in here for political
He thinks his fans are adults. That's actually, like, beyond parody. Okay, so I responded to that clip on Twitter by saying, 5 days ago, when politics were just as interesting, he found time to speak about predatory behavior. But for some reason now politics is just too interesting and he doesn't have time to talk about the Chris Tyson situation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, holy shit. I hope you're ready. We have ginormous update to get into. So, ladies and gentlemen, the time we've all been waiting for, Chris Tyson has responded. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best that I permanently step away from all things MrBeast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. Oh, what a nuke. Let me get some W's in the chat! You know, they called me crazy, they called me transphobic, they said that I was evil, and I'm here, like a year later, and I was right. So the first thing is that this is atrocious. This is a whole, I'm sorry if it hurt or offended anyone, and it's like, you commissioned lolly pornography. The Shadman stuff is beyond just hurting or offending anyone. Yeah, this is what you say when you, like, you know, say a racial slur, you know? This is like what you say when you offend a group of people or something like that, you know? Being a pedophile is not offending someone or hurting someone. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just a tier above that. I'm sorry if I hurt you or I offended you. And that's like what you use when you make an off-color joke and then people get upsetty spaghetti. And it's not what you say when you get caught red-handed with some of the most disgusting shit, you know, ever. But Chris Tyson, you can see, scrubbed their Twitter completely dry. And all we have now is this atrocious response, and I'm gonna be reading some of these. We got Sneeko with I told you so. Well, okay, I mean, I told you so, but okay. To be fair, Sneeko did probably tell us so. Yikes, lol. Starlight Chad. Yo! Turn up! Dude, that's based. This was true. Yeah, why Chris will soon be a nightmare for MrBeast, and it's happened. It's happened. They literally they parted. Wait, I want to rewatch. Maybe we should take a look at that again. But then we have the quartering here saying, "This family, Tucker chose to slay this morning," because he's referring to the fact that, you know, he's been weird with his family. Yeah. So I mean, Jesus. Oh no! 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 Oh no, Jimmy, no! I'm in slow motion. Jimmy, no! Yeah, this is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare. He's my friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is pissing me off.
Jimmy! Come on, Jimmy.
Yeah, doesn't, not aging too well, is it, Jimmy, now? My nightmare. It's not a nightmare. I only had to part ways with him permanently because of the fact that he's a fucking predator. Uh-oh. Whoopsies! I mean, it's literally that tier of a response. Like, whoops. But I mean, damn, Jimmy. Oh, man. Dude, whoever this guy is like, I know he's just having a field day right now. We're gonna rewatch that Sunny video in a bit because, goddamn. Yo, we got Nux Taku in chat. What's up, G? What's up, G? Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, Sunny V2, man. He's gotta cover this, dude. He's gotta cover this. Oh, man. Should I try to call Sunny V2? May as well give it a shot. So we're gonna continue on here with my response. Quote, if it hurt or offended anyone, it was not my intent. You supported a man who made a career off sexualizing children and repeatedly made sexual remarks around a 13-year-old. We're smoking your pack. You know what? It's time for Not Like Us before we watch that Sunny V2 video. And I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. This is my goddamn job. I'm 20 years old. This is my fucking dream to do YouTube, and you guys are helping me make this fucking happen. I love you guys so much. Sunny V2. He didn't delete the video too, which is goated. All right.
The Chris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for MrBeast brand.
You guys taste that? That's fine wine!
However, it may also provide some unique benefits. So
unique benefits like what? Epstein Island first class tickets?
Let's begin by going over
Diddy parties?
For the drama, before explaining exactly how this will impact the MrBeast channel. In mid-2022, fans began to notice that Chris Tyson was changing. In the early days, he represented the quintessential southern gun and truck-loving dude. Yet beginning in March 2022, Chris began to display increasingly feminine traits, making tweets such as, "I finally got my nails done at a nail tech." Additionally, Chris would highlight that his facial appearance had changed significantly since the start of the pandemic, which accompanied another post reading, "Okay, so in 4 different customs I had to prove I was myself because I quote look nothing like my passport pic, so much that I'm considering updating my passport. Do you see any resemblance?"
Well, it's the same person, right? You've just augmented yourself somewhat, so.
Prompting replies such as, "You went from man to boy." Chris responded by stating, "Nah, to be honest, I just really started taking my mental health seriously and..."
Wait, isn't that what it's hard to say, bro, it's annoying the whole pronouns thing, because like when you're talking about, because it would be he, because you're referring to him when he was a he, right? Dude, my hair's so fucked up. Oh my god. Is that fair? I feel like that's fair. If we're talking about Chris Tyson when he was Chris Tyson, you say he, no? I mean, Chris Tyson literally goes, now, I'm taking my mental health seriously after they get outed as a pedo. Imagine caring more about your own mental health than literally the victims of predatory behavior. Like, what? Why not? It's just so weird.
Eating better, yet his Twitter photos kept insinuating that Chris was becoming more feminine, with this same kind of look showing up in his MrBeast appearances. For example, on the 6th of January 2023, Beast Reacts uploaded a video titled "I strapped a GoPro to a fish," in which Chris dressed in a way that prompted comments such as, "Chris has been adopting more and more traits that remind me of my grandmother." Okay, so some people just gonna ignore Chris's nails? Chris had to have lost a bet. The look is getting wild. The response to the video then prompted countless viral TikToks, such as this one with 700,000 likes, stating, "How did Chris go from this to this?" Catalyst for Chris Tyson's feminization instead seemed to have come from his marriage. Chris would post a photo with his wife to his Instagram, yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether. Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating perfectly with the very first post in which he'd painted his nails.
You know what's crazy though, and you have to think about this. I'm pretty sure they were married while he was doing all this lolly shit, no? Oh my god, they tied the knot in 2018, so like right around the time when this was happening. What the fuck? This is insane. So imagine, no, you have to think about it. Like, imagine not only this all happening, but like while it's happening, while you're married, you're consuming lolly. What is wrong with this fucking guy?
Confirmed the split in a post from March 2023 reading, "For a little over a year now, me and Katie have been separated," with this also confirmed
haram? Bro, it's more than haram!
that Chris's transformation began.
He had a kid too? Yeah, I mean,
as soon as his marriage came to an end. Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails. As the criticism continued to pile, Chris announced that he'd be taking a break from social media. And while there was a
so this is exactly what he did when so he's doing the same exact thing.
Possibility that Chris would make efforts
not just about consuming lolly, but tweeting about it too,
before making the announcement that he'd been doing HRT for approximately 2 months, which according to a quick Google search is the medical process for changing genders. There goes a father figure the kid won't ever be able to look up to. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Weak man times. Chris responded to this comment by stating, "This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids."
Uh-oh! Are you safe around kids?
Tucker begs for me to come back when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is so
that is so bad.
loved and happy. Kids,
dude, you're just saying that I'm not safe around kids.
Aren't born with hate, it's taught by people like you, and my child will only know love. I know I'm going to be a great parent, and so is every other person who puts the love of their child before everything. I made this decision because I wanted to show up as my best and happiest self for him. In a way, this was for Tucker. Chris's response received some positivity such as, "I'm convinced you're an amazing father. Tucker is lucky to have you and also lucky to have all of those who surround and support you in his life, as well as I adore that, I'm glad you made that decision. It's so much easier to be a parental figure when you're not struggling with dysphoria."
Thank you, Max It Up Benny, for the $18. I love the content. Keep it up. Hey, thank you so much for that. Yeah, we are. I mean, we still have a lot to get into. I mean, this is literally insane. We have him saying that, these people are dog whistling, that, I mean, to be fair, I don't think that just being trans makes you unsafe to kids. I think that's ridiculous. That just being trans, it means you're going to instantly groom a child. But like, for him to be saying this, and it's like, dude, that's not good. That's really not good. That's like, for example, someone says something racist, like, oh, Mexicans are going to kill people. And then a Mexican killer is like, hey, you're dog whistling and you're saying Mexicans kill people. And it's like, well, you literally have killed people. That's not good. You know what I mean? It's just the wrong person to say that message. Leave it to me. I'll literally say, hey, I don't think trans people are touching kids just because they're trans, But meanwhile, you're doing this.
Yet he'd also receive an equal amount of backlash. You ripped apart your family and took a father figure away from your son just so you could paint your nails and act zesty. Pathetic. He will get torn apart at school, won't want to have friends around his house, a life full of difference and being alone. Must have missed the point in that tweet. How's this for him when you're depriving him of a father figure? Although Chris wasn't altered by these comments, as he'd once again reiterate his certainty in a new post reading, "It's never too late to start being yourself. itself, which received praise from MrBeast as well as Nolan and
Oh! YouTube's in on it? Oh no! You're glowing? No, you're growing downstairs because someone is 8. This is insane, and YouTube, oh my god.
Carl. However, these comments also added extra fuel to the fire. In a few years, look back at this thread and remember they were never your friends. Only yes men cowards. Hope you come out of this safe. MrBeast responded to this with a simple opinion irrelevant ratio, to which the original commenter would state, I have 30 followers, so go ahead and ratio me. I'll still rest easy knowing that I'm not a coward who idly sits by watching my friend ruin his own life. In some ways, it was nice to see the—
He goes, you can fucking ratio me, I'm a stranger.
Boys standing up for
I have
Chris on
30 followers.
Twitter. However, the situation has
That's so goated.
already begun to change the dynamic within the videos. For example,
Yeah,
in
you got him, Jimmy.
a recent
You destroyed him.
live stream titled Opening 1,000 Mystery Art Boxes, Chris would once again dress in quite a feminine way, and while everybody participated as usual, the energy and vibe didn't feel nearly as smooth as it normally does. It felt as though there was an unaddressed elephant in the room, and therefore everybody was in their head, as opposed to being in the present moment enjoying each other's company. Maybe everybody was simply too busy opening packages, but Chris did make these bizarre jokes about Jimmy being female, making him incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh my god, Jimmy, look, they drew you. Jimmy, they drew you so well. It looks just like you.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, it's Jimmy.
How did fan art? This is what we were looking for. Be brave, be honest, be kind, Mr. Beast. That is my tagline.
Becoming even weirder when each member started
Be
to pay
brave,
each
be
other
honest.
compliments.
Hey, nice shirt. Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Hey, nice shirt.
Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Thanks. Nice shirt.
Nice shoes.
For the most part, the live stream was devoid of awkward moments. However, it would act as fodder for another 100 million views worth of drama and criticism. Chris likely believes that people will slowly adapt to his new appearance over time, but is this really going to happen? Well, maybe. It's difficult to say as the situation is fairly unique, especially when considering Chris's reputation and influence. However, if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits?
I was DMing this guy too, Jake the Viking. He seems to have known a lot about the Chris Tyson stuff. That's all I'm gonna say.
In the first place. Perhaps the opposite will happen, and he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with the current MrBeast audience. This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely—
Yeah, I mean, this okay, to be fair, like, this concluding point was pretty retarded. Like, he wasn't adding Chris Tyson, you know? Like, Chris Tyson was always there, and then he, you know, became trans, so he just wasn't gonna kick him out for that reason. But to be fair, I mean, the title and the thesis of the video is that it was like, Chris Tyson will be a nightmare for MrBeast, and here we are, and it's true. And yeah,